These guys have done a great job in the pits all day, and it's far from over.
That's right. Exciting things yet to happen, Jamie.
Well, Jeff Gordon proved he could get up front and run there for 2 laps. Do you guys have enough to do it for 8 laps on this final restart?
I hope so. You know, the DuPont Pepsi Chevrolet hasn't been as good as we needed all weekend long, but hopefully we've got it better here at the end. Picker's done a great job. Jeff's done a great job. We just a win here would be great. It'd be great for the team. It'd be great for me. I'd love it to be a good momentum builder.
I guess I was wishful thinking, Doc. I said last restart. Who knows? We could have a few like yesterday.
Well, we could. And guys, we might mention the 19 and 43, Sadler and Sorensen, 12th and 13th. So they really moved up in there. They are moved up in the standings. You see Dale Earnhardt Jr., with those 4 fresh tires. He'll now be able to restart up there in 11th position. And as I'm watching, the 24 car, guys, has chosen the outside line.
I don't get that. I really don't. I mean, he just beat Jimmy on the inside after Jimmy actually controls the start. He could control the start and start on the inside. To me, I just don't understand why he would choose the outside.
Yep. The more I watch, the less I know. Yep. Anyway, let's see what happens. Maybe it'll work for Jeff Gordon. He's a 4-time champion. He's got a great start.
He's got the start. He's got a teammate behind him, Mark Martin, and he will have it by a couple of car lengths. Look at Kurt Busch on the bottom of the racetrack. And
look at Montoya 3 wide.
Montoya trying to hold the bottom. Jimmy Johnson takes a position. Gordon's got him by 2 car lengths. They were 3 wide coming off of turn 2 a moment ago.
David Reagan made a great move on the outside in that UPS Ford. Best run he's had all year.
Carl Edwards down on the bottom of the racetrack. They're side by side for position. Montoya and Martin now for 3rd spot.
See, one of the cars smoking in that group. Here comes Jimmy now. He's still working on it. They come to the inside of Jeff Gordon.
Kurt Busch smoking a lot. He's got damage from that last incident.
Jimmy Johnson goes by and takes a position, or does he, as Jeff Gordon can try to get back.
Trouble.
Sideways down across the racetrack.
I know Marcus Ambrose is involved in that.
Elliott Sadler, Reed Sorensen.
Allmendinger is there, the 31 of Jeff Burton, who was having such a good run. Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Man, a lot of cars torn up here.
These guys were 4 wide just going across the start-finish line. You had to think something was going to happen.
Hang in there.
All these cars that were running 10th, 11th, 12th. There's the 9 car. Casey Kane again involved.
Yeah, this one's going to be a lot harder to fix.
Yeah, I was going to say he won't be involved anymore.
There's Dale Earnhardt Jr. had those fresh tires and was back in 11th position.
They're going to red flag this race and stop them in turn 4 because they've got just so much debris down there on the racetrack. See, Junior, he was driving the wrong way. See Allmendinger out of his car.
There's the 19 of Elliott Sadler, who had driven his way all the way up into 13th position. Let's show you 47, Marcus Ambrose. He was on the inside. He got it, got right side damage. He's trying.
Do not touch it. Do not touch the car. Just get in here and look through.
Yeah, that's Frankie Kerr. He's saying don't touch the car because you cannot work on the car during a red flag. That stops everything.
There's the 83 car, damage on the front of another chase contender. Let's show you what happened and how this all unfolded entering turn 1.
You can see there are at least 4 wide here, but it looks like
first contact looked to me like it was Elliott Sadler into the back of Junior.
Yes, I was going to say that's what triggered everything, but they were only asking for trouble at 4 wide. We've talked about how wide a racetrack this is, but
it wasn't wide enough for that. I mean, it's just, you know, these guys are trying to get everything they can and trying to bump draft on this straightaway too.
Yeah, they're just trying to push there, and probably just a little bit too much of a push.
Wow, do you see Reed Sorensen's car came off the ground?
47 car back and forth, bucking like a Bronco on left tires and right side tires.
A really bad wreck for Richard Petty Motorsports. Every one of his cars.
Right there, all 4 of them involved. Yeah. 3 of them piled up in a pile there for a while.
From Casey Kane's onboard camera now coming out of turn 4 down the straightaway.
You can see there were already some rubbing going on coming out of turn 4. These guys just battling as hard as they can right here at the end of the race, trying to get the spots. Now's when it's all going to happen.
Get low. Come to the middle, right where you're at. Keep coming straight.
Michael Walter drove right through the center of that. You see even Matt Kenseth got damage.
Casey Kane got the back of the 31 of Jeff Burton. Watch him 4 wide there. Oh.
See all the parts and pieces flying off of them.
Well, that's unfortunate. There were a lot of guys that were looking at some promising days after maybe struggling. Elliott Sadler and Reed Sorensen, and have it all to go away. Casey Kane had battled his way up in the top 10 before the last one.
So we go into the red flag with just 5 laps to go, 5 in the distance from where the field is parked in turn 4 to the start-finish line from the ESPN pit studio. Alan Bestwick, Rusty Wallace, Brad Doherty getting set for what should be a crazy sprint to the finish of what has been a pretty wild closing portion to this race. There were only 3 cautions in the first 185 laps of this race. Now we've had 4 in the last 55. And at the closing stages of this so far, we've seen this duel between Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and now Juan Pablo Montoya just before the red flag. And who knows how this is going to turn out?
Well, we've talked about Jeff Gordon in our countdown show. If Jeff's going to win this championship this year, we really feel like he needs to win a race. So right now, Jeff is in the best position I've seen him all year long. He's probably going to have to start on the outside. Looks like Jimmy Johnson will probably go for the inside, according to our analysts upstairs in the booth. And this is really going to be a shootout. I know Jeff is thinking about this restart like crazy, Brad, because this is going to be everything in the world for him.
Yeah, and he's really good on the short run, it seems like. But Jimmy Johnson gets it when he gets that 48 wound up, he checks out. I think the battle's going to be, can Jeff Gordon keep Mark Martin and Juan Montoya behind him as they get on down into these last few laps?
So Jeff Gordon chose the outside lane for the last restart and lost the lead to Jimmy Johnson after he had the inside lane for the previous restart and got the lead from Jimmy Johnson. Wonder what he's thinking now that his crew chief Steve Letart's thinking now that Gordon does not have lane choice, Jamie.
He's like part of the team now. We keep going to him and he keeps answering our questions. You guys chose to go to the outside that time. Why?
Well, I think, when you have the ability to start the race, I think the outside seems to be better. We're pretty good down on the outside of 1 and 2, so I leave it up to the driver. I think he's the best out there, so hopefully he knows what he needs.
You guys have a pretty good car right now. Steve, looking at the big picture, do you guys need to get a win to win this championship?
I don't think we need to have a win. I think it would be a great momentum builder. This chase is tough. It's hard on the team, hard on everybody. There's a lot of pressure involved, so a win would be great. But we got a lot of people supporting us out there, a lot of friends, family, everybody at work, and we just got to keep plugging at it. And hopefully 7 more races we can end up there when it counts.
Very understated right now. I'm sure this will be one excited man if they end up in victory lane here in the next 15-20 minutes, guys.
So Jeff Gordon sitting second on the track under the red flag with just over 5 laps to go in this race. The man he's chasing is Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy is leading as we wait for the cleanup to be completed and we see what happens on these final 5 miles in Southern California.
You're watching ESPN on ABC.